anybody who just signed on, or tuned in, or whatever we say, if you can grab a towel, like a long towel or a strap, we'll be using that for this morning's practice, which is Modo, which is standing postures, like strengthening and mindful strength type endurance. And then we're going to follow it with a couple of Yin postures, which will stretch you out, get really deep into the tissue. We hold those for a little bit longer, and then we'll finish with some specific breath. But all the way through, I weave in components of breath to, exercise our lungs and our respiratory system. Is really good for us right now. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Make your way over onto your mat. Knock all the mulch off your feet in your backyard, and come on down and sit comfortably. I like to sit on my shins. You could sit cross-legged, whatever works for you. Make sure I have a towel here, or your strap, and you can just put it beside you. And placing your palms down. And close your eyes. And take just a few moments to feel the insides, the inner workings of your body, your breath, your heart. Bringing your knees out wide now. Come down into a wide knee child pose. So space between the knees, forehead resting on the mat, which I won't do or you won't hear me. So your forehead is down. And start to breathe in through your nose into the full barrel of your rib cage. So think about bringing the breath into the belly, the sides of the ribs, the backs of the ribs. And tune into the sounds that are around you, other than, my voice and my background sounds. What can you hear in your peripheral? Like what are the sounds of your environment? You might even begin to notice this sort of, even though it's silence probably, there's a busyness to that silence. Maybe the humming of the workings of your house, background noises, people in your house, your dogs, your furnace, or your air conditioner. And then come back to the inner workings. So notice your breath. And keeping both of those things as best as you can, so you can hear what's going on around you, but you're also aware of the inner workings of your body. Come back up onto your shins, or you cross your legs, and sitting up, grab your towel or your strap and place it around the back of your ribs and grab on to the strap. Now, if you don't have a strap or you don't have a towel like this, you could cup your hands around the sides of your rib cage. And then snugly get that towel or that strap around the back and start to inhale and feel your ribs press back in to the strap or the towel. And at first, as you inhale, you might find, it's hard to get my breath back there. And this is the deepest lobes of our lungs. So let's see if we can inhale to press the ribs into the towel. And exhale, feel the whole rib cage knit in. And now inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Put the strap down, interlace your hands, and press your palms forward. Draw your shoulders back. Inhale, the arms come all the way up. Breathe into the back of the rib cage. Open your mouth, bring your palms together, and hands pass through the heart. Interlace, press down to your knees. Inhale, breathing in for 3, 2, 1. Open your mouth. Exhale through big open mouth. Interlace. Press down to the toes. Breathe in through the nose for 4, 3, 2. Hold at the top. So pause at the top. Look up. See if there's a little more space to take another sip of breath into the back of the ribs. Open your mouth. Exhale. Hands pass through the heart center. Interlace. Press down to the floor and hold empty. And see if you can even pull the belly in and press out a little bit more air. Breathing in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top. Open your mouth. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the top. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom. Come forward into a tabletop position. Inhale to look up, arch the back. Exhale to round like a mat cat. Do a few more rotations, working through the spine. And then tuck your toes, lift your knees, and walk your feet forward underneath you. Make 2 fists, place them between your feet. Bend your knees, sit low into a chair, and place your hands onto your thighs. And pressing your hands to your thighs, thighs to your hands, we're going to do that cat-cow with our knees bent. So inhale, we arch the back, look up. Exhale, round your back, pull the belly in. Inhale, look up, arch the back, exhale to round. And now you can go a little quicker. You could go really slow. Inhale and exhale, arch and round. And then press all the way into your feet. Come all the way up to standing. Lift your arms. Interlace your fingers up overhead. Take a breath in. And exhale, lift up and over towards the left side. You can take your left hand down to the outer left thigh and start to slide your hand down to the outer foot. And then pivot your left eye up towards the elbow pit, so the inside of your elbow. See if you can bring your breath into the right side of the ribs a little more, because there's a little more space there. Inhale, come up. Interlace your hands. Breathe and stretch up tall. Breathe out, curve to the right side. And then take your right hand to the outer right thigh and slide your fingers down towards the ankle. Really firm up the legs and pivot the right side of your chest forward. Right eye looks up to the inside of the elbow. And then breathe into the left side of the ribs. Come all the way up. Stretch your arms out in front of you. And like you're pressing something like a block between the palms, feet are separated, sit low into a chair. And now here you can play with the knees moving forward and back in space. But eventually move the knees back so you can look down and spy down and see those toes. Put your left hand down onto your left thigh, reach your right arm up, and start to do like these big arm circles. And see if you can make that circle with your right arm as big as possible. Get the rotation only in the shoulder socket. And then bring the right hand to the low back. Reach the left arm forward. Breathe in. As you exhale, bring the left hand to the outer right thigh. Now the feet are separated, so press into the outer edges of the feet and begin to roll the right shoulder back. So we're coming into our twist. Option to slide a little lower. See if you can get the left arm to the outer right thigh. Make a glove with your left hand, fist with your right. Push your fist down into the glove and roll your right shoulder back. This is a really good time to come into that breath into the back of the ribs. Right hip pressing into the right foot. Left hip drawing up back. Come all the way up, stand all the way up tall. Have a little back bend if you want. Exhale, sit back into that chair. We're going to move the knees forward and move the knees back. But eventually, bring the knees to a position where you can see those shoelaces. Bring your right hand to your right thigh and start to draw circles with the left arm. Now everything in the body is staying still, and we're really isolating the movement into the shoulder joint. See if you can do that without shying away from the bend in the knees. And then reach your left arm up, place the left hand onto the low back, right hand to the outer right thigh, and start to pivot your chest so you're coming into that twist. Option, you could stay there, or you might slide down a little lower, get the arm to the outer thigh, make a glove with the bottom hand, a ball with the top, and push the ball into the glove and roll the left shoulder back. Keep breathing into the back of the rib cage, especially as we start to feel that morning burn into the thighs. Imagine a hand in your right back pocket. Where's your right back pocket? Lift it up. And then stand all the way up. Breathe in, lift your arms. Exhale, dive forward over your legs. Half lift to breathe in. Bring your hands down. Step back into a plank like a high push-up. Squeeze your thighs. Pull the belly in. Squeeze your butt. And then land your knees down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And take your right knee into your nose and start to do circles with the right hip, so deep into the right hip joint. So I like to imagine a really expensive beverage on my low back as I do this, so that there's as little movement in the pelvis as possible. Put the knee down, lift the left knee, and start to do those big circles. We're trying to really loosen up in through the hip joint. Do a few more. And bring your knees underneath you, tuck your toes, hover your knees, and then lift your hips. You're in a downward facing dog. Reach your arms forward, push forward, bring belly to thigh, lift your tailbone. So imagine you're a wave and the tailbone is the tip of the wave. And from there you can start to pedal out the backs of the legs. And lift your left leg up, bring it up between your hands. And come into runner's lunge, sweep your arms back, find your balance, and reach your chest forward. Little scissor action into the hip, and then reach your right arm forward, left arm back, and like you're cross-country skiing, start to swing your arms, and we're going to do a pumping breath. So it's four, three, two, one. Roll your right heel in and down. Come on up to your warrior two. Okay, so land with that vibrant energy we've built with the breath in your warrior two. Outer edge of the right foot glued. Front knee over the center of the hip. And then it feels like someone's pulling your left fingertips, someone's pulling your right, and you're expanding from the collarbones out through the fingertips. Right hand to back thigh, left palm up, exalt your warrior, look up with the right eye. Notice if you shied away from the bend in the front knee, it's okay if it's intentional. Come all the way forward, left forearm to left thigh, right hand to the heart, pivot your heart up, reach the right arm up, option to reach the right arm behind you and do a bind. So you would be the palm faces away, and then we roll the right shoulder back. Couple more breaths. Remember the back of the rib cage. Breathe there. And bring your hands down to the inside of your left foot. Walk towards the center of your feet. So we're in between the feet now, and start to alternate bending the knees side to side. So the hands and the feet, they don't move, and it's okay if the legs don't straighten all the way. And you could even try coming up with your hands on your thighs. Bring your hands down to the ground, walk them towards your right foot, and set up for runner's lunge. Lifting the back heel. Really look back, press the back thigh up, sweep your arms back, reach your chest forward. So that scissor action present. Little low belly drawing in, that's why we access the breath into the back of the ribs. And then start to do that cross-country ski movement. So only the arms are moving. Let's add in the breath. Two, one. Pivot the left heel in and back. Cartwheel your arms up, Virabhadrasana 2, guerrier numéro 2. Jambes en avant, c'est plié, so we're looking at the front knee centered over the foot. Expand from the collarbones out through the fingertips. And really hug the left hip in. Left hand to back thigh. Reach the right arm up. And if you think about creating a long line, a string from your right hip up through the right fingers, if you reach up and get a long arm before you curve back, there'll be this super stretch. Come back to warrior two. Land your right arm to your right thigh. Bring the left hand to your heart and pivot your rib cage on the spit of your spine. Look up.
So if you did on the other side, reach the left arm up, turn the palm back, wrap the arm behind you, and then roll the left arm back. Take a couple more breaths. Press the inner left thigh back, outer edge of that back foot glued, and bring the hands down. Ooh, feeling the thighs. Walking your hands towards the center. And here we're going to bend our knees so that the front of our hips touch the thighs. Reach your chest forward and look forward. And then start to bend and lengthen the legs. So you could do this again with the hands on the thighs. But look forward. Okay, so you can look forward literally and also in a more symbolic sense. Bend and straighten the legs. Press the inner thighs back. And so we're keeping that natural curve in the low spine. And then land, hands could be under the shoulders on blocks if you have them, or to your thighs. And press the inner thighs back. You might hinge at the hip. Let the head hang. An option to grab the outside of the feet. If you're someone who likes headstands, this would be a good time. But basically, we're upside down in some variation, inverting our world. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Walk your hands towards your left foot. Pivot your toes. Step back to that plank position. And squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the thighs. Landing the knees. Start to bend the elbows and lower all the way down, chaturanga. Circle your shoulders back. Lift your chest. It's called baby cobra. Most of you know it. Pull your shoulder blades down towards your tail. Point your toes. Baby toenail pressing down. Press back through your knees. Downward facing dog. Lift your hips. Look up between your hands. Walk your feet forward. Separate your feet to fist widths. Grab your elbows for ragdoll. Let everything hang upside down. Shake it out. And then wrap your hands around the outside. So I'll show you here around the outsides of your shins. L'extérieur de tibia, and start to press your shins into your forearms as you start to lift the tailbone up and let the head hang down. So notice, even though you're pressing into your forearms, really get the big toe mounds glued. And there's a feeling like the cheeks of your butt are lifting up away from the back of the thigh. And if you let your head go, it's a beautiful, like, neck lengthener. Keep your knees bent. Put your hands on your thighs and slowly roll up one vertebra at a time through your spine to standing. We're on our feet now. Bring your feet together. Bend your knees and cross your right thigh high up over your left thigh. So we're coming into eagle. My ground's a little uneven. I don't know about yours. And then you could press your outer right foot into the leg or tuck the toe behind. Sweep the right arm under, intertwine the hands, lift the elbows forward and up. Send the tailbone back. Inhale, come all the way up. And we're just going to switch sides. So feet come down, left leg up and over. Maybe hook the toes. left arm underneath. Twist tie option would be to grab your shoulders. If you can't twist tie the arms, it doesn't feel available today. Tailbone reaching back, heart lifting up, forearms away from the nose. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Do a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, dive forward over your legs. Half lift to breathe in. So stretch the chest forward, hands come down, step back to plank. Hold your plank, you can keep the knees off the ground or down, squeeze the cheeks of the bum, bend the elbow, chaturanga. Cobra up dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Look up between your hands, you can do little hops, you can walk. Half lift to breathe in. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And bring the hands to the heart. And bring your hands to your hips. Step your right foot behind you. Circle the right hip down. Reach your chest forward, toppling tree. Lift the right leg up. You can sweep the arms out to the side today, so the palms are down, and really expand your chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. As you circle the right hip down, and there's a real feeling of expansion in this pose, from the center belly out through top of the head, fingertips, the back toes, come all the way up. And can you stand for a moment, close the eyes, maybe feel the heart pumping. Hands to the hips, you're going to step the left foot behind, roll the left hip down, and bring your arms back as you hinge forward, lift the back leg, toppling tree. Arms at the side. Now often what happens is the back leg lags, so a little more effort there. Lift the back leg a little higher. Roll the left hip down, and then expand. So if you were a bird, you'd be an eagle with a big, wide wingspan. Firm up the right thigh. Try not to lock the knee though. Come all the way up and bring your feet side by side. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Half lift to breathe in. Hands come down, step back to plank. Chaturanga, cobra or up dog. Okay, knees are lifted in up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look up between your hands. Walk your feet forward. Half lift to breathe in. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way up. Reach your left arm up. Reach back with your right hand for the inside of your foot or the outside. So if that's not available, you could use your towel and wrap it around the foot. Now fix your eyes, because when our eyes are fixed, we have better balance. And start to kick your foot away from you. Eyes looking up. So we think about that idea of when we look up, it exudes positivity, right? Than looking at the ground. So also helps to lift the chest. Circle the right hip down. Come all the way up. And switch. Right arm lifts. Reach back with the left hand. You could use that towel around the foot as an option. Square the hips. Breathe in to get really tall. Breathe out, kick foot to hand. Where your eyes, not just your chest follows your eyes, your whole attitude, looking up, potential possibilities. All the way up, feet side by side. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, dive forward over your legs. Half lift to breathe in. Listen carefully. Come to your tippy toes and land your hips down onto your heels. And if you reach your arms forward here, see if you can balance and allow the heels to kind of melt towards the ground as you land as soft as you can to the cheeks of your bum. Rolling all the way back down. Hug your knees into your chest. And take your hands behind your head and extend your legs up towards the ceiling or the sky if you're outside like me. And we're going to scissor the legs like we did the arms when we were in runner's lunge, a scissor. And we're going to inhale and exhale like we did in that cross country. Now you guys keep going. If you're finding that your legs are kind of shaking and they're straight, bend your knees. You can do this more like a walk. And as best as you can, don't allow the back to arch while you do this. And every time you exhale, notice how the belly snaps in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees into your chest. Bring both feet down onto the ground. We're going to slide into our yin portion. So things are going to slow down. Have your towel or your strap handy. And bring your feet out wide and let your knees kind of lean towards each other. A really good way to sort of bring your mind from 60 down to 0 is to listen again to your surroundings. And always in that surrounding sound is this like bass sort of hum of vibration. It's like the hum of Om, but it's like the background noise of your house, things in the distance. Now take your strap and place it around the ball of your right foot and extend your right heel up above the mounds of your right toes. But then allow your right leg to pull back into its socket, like there's a magnet deep underneath you, and you're a magnet, and that right hip's being pulled down in towards it. As you stretch your heel away from it, so the leg's really long. Now here, notice your right knee, where does it point? And we're going to play to customize the hamstring stretch. We have 2 hamstrings back there. We got muscles in the back of our legs, and depending on the shapes of our legs, they're different. So you could pivot your right kneecap out. See how that feels? You could pivot your right kneecap in, so you're swiveling the leg in its joint, in its socket. And when you find that kind of perfect spot, you might draw the legs a little closer. So I'm watching the clock. You want to hold for a minimum of 2 minutes. 2 to 5 minutes, but a minimum of 2 so that we really get deep into the fascia, into the tissue of the body. Not just affect the muscles, but really create change. Begin to notice if your mind drifts away to a thinking state. Bring it back to the sounds around you. Bring it back to your breath. Just going to, it's a subtle change, but it'll change where we feel the posture. So we're going to hang on to that right leg in the air. Take your left leg out long. Reach up with your left hand for the strap or your leg. Right arm out like a T. Hips grounded. Right leg towards your belly button until maybe you're feeling a little more sensation in the outer right leg. Maybe it's a little in the back of the outer right leg, like hamstring to outer right leg. And as a bonus, tilt the outside blade of your right foot up towards the ceiling or the sky. Scissor your right hip away from your right armpit. You're still fidgeting, try and commit to being still. That would be a good starting point in Yin. And sometimes when we fidget, it's because we've taken the posture so far that your body feels like, oh, danger, danger. So your nervous system's in fight or flight. So maybe back away a little bit, so that you can stay with the posture, you can be still. And then as you get still, you'll really start to be able to pinpoint where you feel it. And again, a good indication you've taken it too far is that you don't know where you feel it, or you can't breathe. It's okay to take in those peripheral sounds. That's
that's even good. That's a form of mindfulness, or that gives a meditative quality. But notice if your mind starts to, do your to-do list. If it does, come back to a really full belly breath. Belly breaths are calming. As you inhale, visualize filling up the balloon in your belly, and as you exhale, that balloon deflates. Bring your knee into your chest. You can do a few little circles. You can bring both knees in. Notice the in-between, how it feels. Sort of like the pose dissolves. Lean your knees together, feet out wide for a moment, just to take in the difference in how your right leg and your left leg feel. And now we're going to take the strap around the ball of the left foot. Right leg out long. So, if you don't have a strap, you can always interlace around the back of your thigh. You probably did it on the other side, and that's cool. And for a moment, without pulling the leg too close towards you, it's okay if the leg's away from you. Really straighten out your left leg. And then pull the left hip down into the ground, like that magnet. As you lengthen from the back of your left leg all the way up through the left heel above the toe middle. And then you might bring the leg a little closer towards you. And then we're going to do that little customization. And bear in mind your right and left leg can be very different. So you're going for sensation. Pivot the left knee out. Pivot it in. Do it a few times. Find a nice juicy spot. And then commit to that, and maybe you draw the leg a little closer. Really optional. I like to keep my right knee bent. It helps me to keep that neutral spine, so a little space between the low back and the mat. You could have yours long or bent. Play with that. And just about now, let's all try to commit to being still and paying attention to the deeper layers of what's going on. The different steps. Start with being still. Then you notice the discomfort, like the feeling of the stretch. Just notice it, know where it is. And then notice where your mind likes to go. And bring it back to that listening around you. Noticing your thought patterns and giving your mind the job of breath. You're going to reach up now with the right hand
right leg long, left arm out like a T, and bring the left leg across your body, but there's still that magnet in the left hip pulling it down into the earth. You could use your left hand to gently press the left hip away from you. And then that bonus, so you can see how that feels, this feels, brings it into the outer calf a little as you turn the blade side of your left foot up higher, so like a sickle in your foot. Inflate that balloon in your belly. Our breath, it can be very prescriptive. When we learn to control it, we can use it to get the kind of energy we need. So right now we're looking for that relaxed energy, so those big belly breaths. So the breaths we used in the standing postures were invigorating. That's when we need more energy. This one slows it down, big balloons in the belly, making you less reactive, all of us. Bring the leg up, bring the knee into your chest, move it around a little side to side. Roll onto your side or roll yourself up and bring yourself into a cross-seated position. So we're going to do this together. You might use a pillow to sit on. Take your left heel, grab it, pull it into your groin and turn the shoelaces down, and then the right foot in front. So if that's not really super comfortable for you, you could take the traditional sort of cross-legged. You could sit higher up on something that's going to make it a little more accessible into the hips. Hands come onto the thighs, lift your chest. And now as you inhale, lift your arms all the way up. And reach your arms up. Turn your palms up, fingers wide, like you're making these big cups or antlers with your arms. Look up. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, open your mouth and the hands just sort of float down. Okay, so we're going to try that again. Inhale, lift the arms up. Really simple. Look up. Hold there. Take a sip of breath through your lips into the back of the rib cage. Hold your breath. Another sip of breath into the back of the ribs. Hold. Exhale, the arms come all the way down. And now bring your hands onto your shoulders. Somebody's playing in the back, it's awesome. Hands on the shoulders, elbows are up, and we're going to just start to twist. But we're going to add in that breath we were using for our cross-country skis. So it's now keep going. You could look forward if it makes you really dizzy, but it's really interesting to watch the elbow that's twisted. And we're going to do 50. I'm counting. Good for your golf swing later, your tennis. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift your antlers. Take a sip of breath. Hold. Another sip. Hold. Open your mouth. Hands come to your lap. Close your eyes. Be with the sensation. It's a little bit like airy, dizzy, inflated, effervescent, because we got rid of a lot of CO2 from our lungs. It's energizing, glistening, sparkly. Notice the sounds around you, how they're a little more clear, vibrant. And then we're going to switch the cross of our legs. Take your right heel and pivot the shin down so the right shoelaces are down, and then the left in front. And so you might notice one side, the knee will be a little more lifted. That's usually our tight side. You could always take your towel and put it underneath or sit up on something. Okay, relax the shoulders. We're going to inhale to lift the arms up. And as you exhale, bring your hands behind you. And the hands will be behind you. And take your hands and either make fists and bring them together. And if they don't reach, you can bring your palms straight on your back. Or palms together, rotate the fingers up. And send your fingers up between your shoulder blades. So we feel this sort of sensation into the shoulder joints. And then we're going to do a really quick in and out breath. And flap your wings. Close your eyes. Look up, but with your eyes closed, so lift your chest. In and out, in and out. Flapping your wings, and you can hear too, you can almost hear this, the reverberation, I call it, of the wings flapping. More. Stay with it. It's hard. Sometimes we lose concentration, especially when you're talking. Keep going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift your arms. Hold your breath. Take another sip. Another sip. Let it all go. And our final breath's going to includes some arms. So I'm going to show you from behind. You're going to take your right hand behind you, send it up, and sometimes we overshoot. Take your strap or your towel, bring your left arm overhead, and reach up and grab for that towel. So you can also grab the hands if they're available. Now you could stay in your cross-legged position or come to another comfortable one if it's too much. Left arm is overhead. Bring your left cheek to your left arm, and we're going to twist that way as we exhale. So it's going to be just an exhale through the nose. Keep going. It's kind of like a sprinkler, that one-way sprinkler. And you twist in that direction and look up, look up, look up, look through the left eye. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands right to your lap in that one. And close your eyes. Be still. Take it in. We'll do the other side. Switch the cross of the legs, trying to give equal time to both sides. And this time, you bring your left arm behind you, right arm overhead, put the strap in the right hand, and grab. Or, if you can cup the hands, go for it. And if you've never tried, something that happens often is we bring that left hand too far around instead of up between the shoulder blades. Lift your chest. And if you're trying to grab the hands and you can't grab them, something you can try is lifting your chest. Sometimes that helps. Bring the right cheek to the right arm, hug it in. We're going to twist in that direction and breathe out of the nose. Ready? Here we go. You're looking out of the right eye and you're really ungluing the ribs. Look up. Remember that idea of looking up to potential, to future. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your hands. Bring them to your lap. Close your eyes. Make your way down into Shavasana, corpse pose. Or if you choose to sit, you can sit. My preferred seat for meditation is on my shins. We're almost out of time now. So I encourage you, when we do breath, I like to do my breath work before meditation. It really helps to keep your mind clear. It's a little almost like free drugs too. Feels good. So lie on your back for a few moments. Sit onto your meditation stool. Sit on a chair even. Close your eyes. Palms down. We're going to time out, so I'm going to say namaste now. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to seeing who was out there. I'll check after. Namaste.